My Journey to India video 2. So my name is Christy, and as you can see by my page, this is the documentation and video of my journey to India. So I thought I would share with you guys some of the things that I've experienced and some things that you need to be aware of when you are traveling to India. First and foremost, there is a lot of documentation that is required now since COVID. U.S. citizens can travel to India without the COVID vaccine. However, you need to fill out a self-declaration. And that doesn't just mean paperwork. That means that costs money as well. I believe it is for 30 days that documentation requires you to spend $25 US. And for 180 days, that fee is $43 and some change. So $44. So that's just for your self-declaration. And then you also need to have your visa, which visas in India are much more expensive than they are in Africa or other countries. The last time I traveled in 2008, you did not need a visa to travel to Europe or any place else. So this is a whole new ballgame now that COVID has happened. So your visa for India is $213. A flight to India could range anywhere from $700 or $800 to $3,000. And it does not matter whether it's you book your ticket 30 days in advance or not. You just need to watch the flights. There are actual websites where you can go to where you can take a slider and you can check by day what the price will be. They oftentimes change, obviously, as you know, by hour. So the theory of purchasing a ticket on a Tuesday or a Wednesday as a cheaper fare is not accurate. It doesn't matter. And they say that typically you would have thought, and I did previously when I was flying, that, you know, the weekends are actually the most expensive days to get your flight. That is also incorrect because I purchased my ticket at a very good deal and I am leaving on a Saturday. So that's the first part. It's rather expensive and lengthy. Now, here's the other thing. If you have your passport issued different than your birth date, which mine is, so my birth date is in May and they issued my passport in April. So when you are filling out your self-declaration paperwork online for India through their embassy and consulate and government, the online application will not let you fill out declaration paperwork because it says it's impossible for you to have your passport issued after your birthday or before your birth date. So I have called two U.S. embassies, one dealing with Mexico and Canada, because I did call the consulate in India. However, they told me to call back at a different time. Apparently, it's the middle of the night there, which I get. In order for me to speak to someone there to assist me in rectifying this, I have to wake myself up at 3 a.m. and call them because they recommend that you call them between 3 and 5 p.m. their time. Okay, so I had called another U.S. embassy and they apologized, but they can't help me. And they recommended that I call a U.S. consulate near me. There isn't one. There's one in Mexico. And Mexico is not going to help me get for my information to India. So after the second time speaking with the embassy, it was recommended that I do set my alarm for 3 a.m. and call India. Also, in regards to the COVID vaccine, for those of you that know me and have followed me for a while, I'm anti-vaccine. Yes, I got the jab because I wanted to travel abroad. And when I go to Africa and India, or Africa, it's required for me to have the vaccine. So here's the thing. You have to have two. Now, again, you do not have to have the vaccine in order to get into India. You don't. You just have to be able to fill out the self-declaration and have a negative COVID test 3 days prior to your departure. So I had gotten my vaccine on the 8th of this month, and I have attempted numerous times to reschedule for my second vaccine. I had it scheduled with someone through CVS, by the way, which is, and I did rate them, that's the worst pharmacy there is. I can't even express the level of incompetency at the Espanola CVS in New Mexico. Do not go there. And if you look at the ratings on Google, there's maybe 1 out of 30 reviews that says they're good. It says that they were cordial. Everyone else says that they're horrible. Now, my personal experience with the CVS in New Mexico was, again, I had an appointment scheduled with a gentleman on the telephone for the 19th, which would be today. And then I had asked him a question about yellow fever. And so he said, hold on, let me check. And then he transferred me to the corporate office of CVS, and then they hung up on me. So I tried again, and then I got disconnected again. That was on Monday. So this morning now I've called and I attempted to schedule an appointment for my vaccine, expressing that I am leaving the country on the 27th and I would like to have this before I leave. So the lady says that she would transfer me to a pharmacy supervisor. So they transfer me, and I've also been told that the actual CVS cannot schedule an appointment. You have to do it online, or you have to call and speak with their appointment setters. So I get transferred. Today I've got an appointment. The lady says, okay, she's going to set me up. And then she sets me up for the 30th. And I said to her, ma'am, I just expressed to you that I'm leaving the country on the 27th. So she transfers me again. So now I am directed to the pharmacy of CVS in Espanola, which they cannot make an appointment for me. So I asked the gentleman to please speak to his supervisor. I express that I am leaving the country on the 27th. And then they tell me that I can't have my second vaccine for 21 to 25 days. Yet Monday I had an appointment scheduled on the 19th, which would have been 11 days after I had the first vaccine. I didn't want the vaccine in the first place. However, I just want you to know, I don't recommend CVS. Just do it through your own doctor if you have that. If you have insurance, you may have to use a CVS, but do know that it's going to be a rigorous and torturous experience because of the literal uneducated incompetence of the people that work there. I'm not really sure how they got a job. In addition to the fact they are rude and they hang up on you because they don't want to do their job. So do be warned on that. So there is a little update on the paperwork extravaganza that you have to deal with. And it's not literally like only in other countries. It's the incompetency of this country and this state, New Mexico. So everything is going wonderfully. I just have to set my alarm for 3 a.m. and call India. But when I spoke to the U.S. consulate the first time, I was asking him what other avenues, who could I possibly speak with to expedite this and make sure that I was doing this properly. And the man said, I expressed to him that they told me to call back at another time. And he said, I'm so sorry, but my best recommendation for you is to call the Indian consulate again. And he laughed and he said, good luck with that. And I laughed and I said, yes, obviously. So there is my video number 2. And you probably should do your research quite extensively before you travel abroad. Now, I do know from looking in my research that it's not that challenging to go to Europe. But if you're going to like India or Africa or South America, do plan your trip like months in advance because the rigor and torture of the paperwork is a bit much. And Africa's paperwork is even more extensive. If you're going on a mission, you have to have paperwork from their church, your church, and letter of invitation, as well as self-declaration, visa, and passport. And those things actually are rather expensive. The passport itself, I think, was $186. So do your research. And I'm sending you so much love, and I hope you're enjoying this journey, and I'm enjoying this journey. I'm about ready to go to India, so we'll see how all this pans out. I'll give you guys another update very soon. Have a beautiful day, guys. Peace until soon.